Welcome to Chapter 3 Overview. Chapter 3 is devoted to the so-called project management process groups. You can think of this chapter as a very basic and high-level overview of all the processes a project manager needs to go through when managing an IT or telecommunications or any other type of projects. So it's an overview of the sequence of high-level steps or phases that any project needs to go through, and each high-level sequence or phase or process group is described in terms of the knowledge areas that it draws upon, also in terms of the sub-processes or specific activities performed within each process group, and also the kind of deliverables that are typically produced in each of those phases or process groups. Now, this chapter starts with the media snapshot that tells you that just as information technology projects need to follow the project management process groups, so do other projects such as production of a movie. Producing a movie involves the following steps. First of all, screenwriting, where you write like a script that outlines the entire movie, and that roughly corresponds to the initiating phase in project management. Then we have producing, producing the movie, meaning thinking about details, which corresponds to the planning phase and project management. Then we have acting and directing stage, which corresponds to the actual execution of a project. Then we have editing. Some movies, they produce hours and hours of footage, and they need to be trimmed down to roughly 90 minutes, 1.5 hours. So that editing phase corresponds to the monitoring and controlling phase in project management. And then the releasing the movie to the theaters, the something that corresponds to the closing phase in project management, the final phase. Now, sometimes different information about those different phases are included as a part of the extras features on a DVD, and many people enjoy watching those extras because it basically helps them learn more about how a movie was produced. And sometimes when you look at those extras, you're amazed that one simple scene that lasted a few seconds, something that you thought was very quick and basic, lasted probably for hours, if not days, because there were like dozens, if not hundreds, outtakes with this particular scene. So all those outages kind of tell you that what you see is only this. You see a movie in the theater. You don't see what kind of work and the magnitude of that work that was performed in prior stages. So this chapter has 3 parts. The first part just introduces to you those project management process groups. Then the second part talks about how those process groups are mapped to various knowledge areas, the 9 knowledge areas outlined by the PMI Project Management Body of Knowledge book. And in part 3, we'll talk about only some, a representative set of activities, deliverables, and best practices within each process group. So this chapter, once again, is meant to give you an overview of what project management is all about. It also gives you a fairly good overview of your group project, because your group or individual project will be very much aligned with the activities with the deliverables within the process groups explained in chapter 3. So that concludes chapter 3 overview. Thank you for listening.